Miami Heat Nation, what is going on? So, we got some crazy news involving Jimmy Butler possibly leaving the Miami Heat. And I feel like they do this once a week or once a month or whenever it comes out, man, because this is absolutely hilarious. It looks like Jimmy Butler has officially been linked to the Brooklyn Nets. Think about that, guys. The Brooklyn Nets. Now, I do have an article and I'm going to be talking about it. But before we do start today's video, if you guys enjoy just Miami Heat content in general and want to stay updated with all NBA news involving the Miami Heat, preseason battles, training camp, same thing. You get what I'm saying. With the regular season, a lot of lives will be happening. Smash that subscribe button. Our goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers for this upcoming season. And I just can't thank you guys enough. So, once again, Jimmy Butler has been linked to a lot of teams this offseason, and I understand why he has been linked to several teams because he hasn't got the contract extension, and no one knows what's going to happen next with Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Now, Jimmy Butler has came out already plenty of times pretty much saying that he wants to be in Miami. He loves it here. And to be honest, with Jimmy Butler being such like hard-headed and, that guy, I feel like he loved when Pat Riley called him out personally, because if you notice a lot when it comes to Jimmy and these other teams, he's calling out the other players. So when somebody calls out Jimmy Butler, I feel like he loves that, and I feel like that fuels him even more to have a great season. Anyways, it says, report. The Nets are a potential destination for Jimmy Butler in 2025 free agency. The six-time All-Star is most accomplished standout on the list, not named James, and he likes Brooklyn, according to sources close to the player. Now, to be honest with you guys, this seems like a bull crap report. Let's be honest with you. This says NY Post _ Lewis. So this is coming from a Nets page that's trying to get clicks and trying to get some views because we all know no one cares about the Brooklyn Nets. So when they put players like Jimmy Butler in front of the article, we all know it's going to get views. But say if there's some truth to it, right? Just say that. Just say if that's the case. And I'm going to talk about from the Heat side and from the Brooklyn Nets side, right? The only way the Brooklyn Nets can possibly get Jimmy Butler, if Jimmy Butler goes, you know what? I want out. I don't want to be here no more. Demand me to the Brooklyn Nets. Personally, I do think the Miami Heat would try to figure it out. But if they don't figure it out, I think they're going to go with Jimmy Butler. I think they respect Jimmy Butler. I think they love Jimmy Butler. And if Jimmy Butler says he wants to play for this team, I don't think they're going to do him dirty, personally, in my opinion. That's the only way I personally see this happening. Or two, if we never give Jimmy Butler the contract extension, he walks out and the Brooklyn Nets offer him the most money possible. Because that is a route, right? Jimmy Butler says, you know what? I no longer want to win a championship, but I do get the wealth and I do get it for my family. Because I feel like the Brooklyn Nets, they can offer him a lot of money in free agency. And I feel like the Brooklyn Nets would do that just to stay relevant. Just think about it. Just to stay relevant, to get a player like Jimmy Butler, a lot of people would probably still be watching the Brooklyn Nets. After the field super team with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, it looks like they're still trying to compete a little bit in this sense, but also it doesn't make sense also because they just traded away Mikal Bridges. So why would you go with Jimmy Butler? You got all these first round picks, and now you're trying to get a superstar player? It just doesn't make sense to me. This is why this article is bullcrap. Now, if they still have Mikal Bridges and they still have these other players to make the compete, then maybe I understand where this article is coming from, right? Because then it'll be like, well, maybe if they want Jimmy, they feel like Jimmy can get them over the hump, get them into a playoff push, and see how far they can go in the playoffs. But this is just not happening. Jimmy Butler is not going to the Brooklyn Nets. So I wouldn't think anything about this at all. And then the six-time All-Star is the most accomplished standout on the list, not named James. Are you talking about James Harden or LeBron James? Like, you get what I'm trying to say? So, guys, just don't worry about this. Now, for the other side, for the Miami Heat, I've been talking about this for a while now. What do you do with Jimmy Butler, right? So if you start off the season weak and you start off like 11-20, I do think it's time to trade Jimmy Butler. I personally believe that. You know why? Because Jimmy Butler's like, this team is no longer competing. Even though I want to be here, I feel like he still wants to win a championship or still compete for a championship. So the fact that he's not competing for a championship and the fact that he's not getting his money, those are two things to not say at a team, right? And that's worse comes worse. If that's the case, I do think, okay, fine. Let's trade him to the Brooklyn Nets for this video and for this sake, right? Who the hell are we going to get off the Brooklyn Nets? Just be honest. Like, who? When you look at this Brooklyn Nets roster, you are not getting nobody that's worth anything, right? Just money-wise. Now, I don't know how many first-round picks they can offer him. If they can offer us 4 or 5 first-round picks, I'm fine with it. If they can give us the first round picks that they got from Mikal Bridges, give that to Jimmy Butler, then I'm all for it. But money wise, what they're gonna give us Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, like there's nobody interested. The only player that I'm really interested at this point would probably be Cam Thomas because he's a bucket, certified bucket getter. But if I'm not getting if Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, and Dorian Finney-Smith are not part of the deal, or Nick Claxton at that, I just this is not gonna work out. So this is why this article is just stupid. It doesn't make sense. Jimmy Butler's not going to go anywhere, right? So that's even worst case scenario for the Miami Heat. I just don't see the Miami Heat trading Jimmy Butler to the Brooklyn Nets. I feel like there's better options. I feel like there's players that you can get in return that are better than what the Brooklyn Nets can give you, right? So that's the situation for the Miami Heat, and that's another situation for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm giving you 3 things that this possibly can happen, but it's not. A 0% chance. Jimmy Butler is probably going to stay with Miami. There's a good chance that he retires with the Miami Heat, and we go from there. So let me know what you guys think about today's video. Once again, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. The support has been insane, and keep dropping that sub button because a lot more videos will be coming out. And y'all guys have a great Labor Day weekend, and I'm out. Peace.